What's up, guys? It's Carly with FasciNATIVE English, where if you are finally ready to take your English to another level and to begin speaking English like a native English speaker, then you've come to the right place. So, let's get into it. What's up, guys? I have another idiom for you all today, and today's idiom is a blessing in disguise. Again, that is a blessing in disguise. You can say a or you can say a. It's really just up to your own discretion which one you like better. Sometimes I say a, sometimes I say a. It just depends on my mood, all right? So a blessing in disguise or a blessing in disguise. But what does this idiom mean? This idiom just means an apparent misfortune that eventually has good results, all right? An apparent misfortune that eventually has good results. A blessing in disguise. So the story that I have for you all today is kind of personal, but I'll let you guys know the gist of the story. I won't go into extreme detail. I don't want people getting upset at me over things, but I will let you guys know overall what this is about. In 2018, I officially went out on my own. Well, maybe like 2017-ish. Yeah, 2017, I officially went out on my own, and my ex-husband and I separated. For a long period of time, I really struggled with everything that was going on in my life, but if I was making the right decision or not, I was like, man, is this the right decision? Like, we both wanted different things in our life, and I think it was becoming more and more apparent that we weren't going to work out, and we had different paths that we wanted to go down for our lives. And because of that, we just knew we had to break up, basically. And at first, I really struggled with it because I was like, man, I feel kind of bad because this is kind of my fault. Overall, it's like kind of my fault, everything, because it's something that I want to do that he doesn't want to do, but I want to do it. And, now it's like, all this is happening, but I knew it was best for me. Even though it seemed like it was such a bad thing, I was like, okay, I'm just going to trust that everything's going to work out. I'm just going to trust that everything works out. And I'm telling you guys, I had to put a lot of trust in God that year, because everything, in fact, did not work out for a very long time. 2017 was the worst year of my life. Literally, when I think about it, everything that could go wrong went wrong.
This is the worst.
I had to not only leave a lot of things behind that I really loved and cared for, including my job. I had to leave people, relationships that I had built. I had to move away from my own family because America has stupid laws, you have to be within the same city of your spouse or ex if you have a child. So it was just a lot of stuff. I had to leave my family and move to a new city, and it was just so many things that could have gone wrong that did go wrong. And I was just trusting eventually it's gonna get better, right? Hopefully I could say that one day this was a blessing in disguise. Please, Lord, because there was just so many things that I'm maybe I did make the wrong decision, because life is hard now and I'm not cut out for this. I really thought I'm not gonna be able to make it. How am I gonna be a single mom? How am I gonna do this? Oh my goodness, freaking out, panic. But eventually everything started to work out, and it turns out that 2017 was the worst year of my life, but 2018 was probably the best year of my life, or one of the best years. Obviously having my child in 2014 and having my other child in 2019 were really good moments and the best moments of my life. I love my children so much. But if you guys know anything about being pregnant, that's not a good time. So that year was not a good time. Being pregnant, actually, I hate being pregnant, you guys. It's so annoying. Some people out there, they're like, pregnancy is such a beautiful thing. I love being pregnant. And I'm like, good for you. For me, it was horrible. I was sick almost every day and my back hurt and I gained a bunch of weight. I look like a pumpkin. I am not happy being pregnant, all right? That year, not a good year. 2014, love my son to death. He was born 2014. Yes, his birth was amazing. I love him, but not my favorite year. 2019, my other son was born. Yes, again, birth was amazing. I love him so much. Not my favorite year because I was pregnant almost the entire year. His birthday is December. I was like, this year is bad for me. I was sick the whole time. 2018 though, the year that literally I was like on New Year's Day, I'm like, Lord, this year has to be better, right? Because I feel like nothing can be worse than last year. Please help a sister out. Like, can you please do something for me here? Can I have a good year? And God heard my prayers. Apparently, like, obviously he always hears your prayers, but like he literally, oh my gosh, I'm like getting emotional again. What the heck? Ew, like cringe. Apparently he heard my prayers because that year I moved out on my own. I became very self-sufficient. I got a better job. I met my current husband and kind of fell in love with him that year. Honestly, I did. I was able to travel a little bit more because I got a better job with better pay. So I was able to travel. I went to Vegas with my husband. Well, he was my boyfriend at the time, and a bunch of our friends. And then I traveled around Georgia because I had moved to Georgia, but I never really been anywhere. So I traveled around Georgia a little bit. I was able to put my son into private school. He got a scholarship actually. So it was just a lot of good things that was happening to me. And, you know, it made me think back onto the year before. And that year was literally the worst year of my life. And so many things that could go wrong did go wrong. And I was thinking like, there has to be like something good that's going to happen to me soon, right? This has to end well. I really just trusted the process. And because of that, it turns out that everything that went wrong was a blessing in disguise. And I'll get a little bit more into details. Moving up here to Georgia specifically was one of the things that I was very apprehensive about. I didn't know if it was the right decision because my whole family still lives in Florida. And then it was literally just my son and I moving up to Georgia. And yes, my ex-husband lived here. At that time, we weren't really cordial and it was just very drama. There was a lot of drama. I was very nervous to move up this way. But if I would have never moved here to Georgia, I would have never met my current husband now. I would have never had my youngest son that I have now. And this whole life that my current husband and we have built, none of it would have been possible without making that decision, which at that time I was very apprehensive about. One side, I wanted to move here because it was something different. Nobody wants to stay in their hometown. Well, maybe some people do. Most of my family actually do, so I take that back. But for me, I do not want to stay in my hometown. I actually only can tolerate my hometown for a few days at a time. When I go back home, after about 3 or 4 days, I'm like, all right, time to leave again because I don't like it here. You know, like, I know it sounds really bad to say, but it's just because it's kind of boring. I like living like a more exciting life, but my hometown is kind of boring. I knew I wanted to leave my hometown in Florida, but I didn't know if where I currently am, if that was the place that I ultimately wanted to be or not. I was still very apprehensive about moving here, but it turned out to be a blessing in disguise because my husband, I met him here and then we started dating. My current husband, I met him here. We started dating. We were able to do a lot of fun things together. We went to like Chicago, we went to Vegas, we went to Puerto Rico. We traveled a lot around here in this area and this east coast of America. And then we went to Korea and I got to show him all around Korea and everything. We lived there all together as a family for a bit. So everything good that has been happening in my life the past few years all came from this one decision to leave Florida and move up to this new city, this new area, and start a new life here. As nervous as I was, it was all a blessing in disguise because all these good things actually came from it. I'm glad that I made that decision now, even though I was really nervous to make it back then. I'm really glad that I decided to move and get out of my comfort zone and just kind of struggle.
A leap of faith.
Like, what's up, danger?
At first for a while and go through a lot of stuff at first. Just keep going.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Just tunnel vision. Because now I have this pretty good life. Like, it's not amazing. Trust me, by no means do I have an amazing, lavish life. I think it's a normal life. And I think it's an exciting life. My kids make it very, very interesting. So because of that, I'm thankful. And it was all a blessing in disguise. I hope you guys have a better understanding of this idiom, a blessing in disguise. If you do, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you all in the next video.